So when you hear the name Maharashtra, what's the first thing that comes to mind? For a lot of people, it's probably bustling cities, tons of industry, maybe even Bollywood, right? But what really makes its economy go? We're going to break down the fascinating economic identity of this powerhouse state. And trust me, it's a story with a twist you might not see coming. Let's just start with a number, 25%. Just let that hang in the air for a second. What on earth could a single state be responsible for that adds up to a full quarter of something for a massive country like India? Yup, you're seeing that right. Maharashtra, just one of India's 28 states, churns out a staggering 25% of the entire country's industrial production. It is, in so many ways, the industrial engine of the whole nation. And of course, that industrial image is cemented by its capital, Mumbai, which is world famous as the home of the Hindi film industry, better known as Bollywood. So the picture we're getting is of this really modern, highly industrialized economic giant. It's an impressive picture, no doubt about it. But is it the complete picture? Is this story of factories and finance the reality for the majority of people actually living there? Let's dig a little deeper. Because underneath that industrial surface is a completely different economic world. We need to talk about the state's agricultural backbone, because this is where the story gets really, really interesting. And here is the jaw-dropper. Despite producing a quarter of the nation's industrial goods, an incredible 61% of Maharashtra's population depends on agriculture for their livelihood. Just think about that contrast. While the state's output is industrial, its people are overwhelmingly agricultural. That's the key. So what are they growing? Well, it all starts with the absolute essentials, the crops that feed millions. We're talking about staples like rice, wheat, and a whole variety of crucial pulses. This is the very foundation of the state's food supply. But hey, it's not just about subsistence farming. Maharashtra is also a major producer of cash crops that power the commercial side of its agricultural economy. You know, things like cotton for textiles, sugarcane, and vital oil seeds like sunflower and soybean. And when we talk about horticulture, Maharashtra is a global superstar. I mean, if you've ever had a world-class Alfonso mango or a super sweet Nagpur orange, there's a really, really good chance it came from right here. Okay, so keeping that huge agricultural base in mind, let's circle back to that mind-boggling 25% industrial figure. What exactly is being made in all those factories? The diversity is just immense. I mean, it runs the gamut from cotton textiles, and you can see the clear link to its farms there, all the way to advanced manufacturing of cars and heavy machinery. And that's not even getting into the massive chemical, pharmaceutical, and electronics sectors. The industrial base is just incredibly broad. Now, this kind of industrialization doesn't just happen on its own. Maharashtra has done an amazing job of turning itself into a giant magnet for investment, drawing in money not just from within India, but from all over the world. And all this industrial activity is really packed into a few key urban centers. We're talking about cities like Mumbai, Pune, Nagpur, and Thane. These are the nerve centers that are really driving the state's economy forward. So what's fueling all of this, and where is it all headed? Let's take a quick look at the foundations of this economy and its vision for what's next. A huge part of the story is literally underground. The state has a ton of natural wealth. It's rich in key minerals like coal, iron ore, and bauxite, basically the essential raw materials you need to fuel all those factories. And looking to the future, the state is betting big on a new frontier. A major push for future growth and investment is the information technology sector. That's a huge signal of a shift from traditional industry towards the digital economy. So as we pull this all together, we start to see this really clear picture. The economic story of Maharashtra isn't one simple story. It's really a tale of two very different but coexisting economies. And this slide really says it all. On one hand, you've got the people's economy, where more than 60% of the population works the land. On the other hand, you've got the nation's engine, an industrial titan that's producing a quarter of the entire country's output. These two facts, side by side, perfectly capture the state's unique economic duality. You know, maybe the best way to sum up this complex identity is with a phrase like this. It's a state built on both soil and silicon, on both tradition and technology. It's a powerhouse that somehow balances the farm with the factory.
And that leaves us with one final, fascinating question to think about. As Maharashtra barrels into the future, which of these two pillars, the soil of its agricultural heartland or the silicon of its technological ambition, is going to ultimately define its next chapter?